Hello everyone, welcome to my class. So in today's class we will study about few basic terms of geometry. So before I introduce you to lines and angles, let's see few terms. So what are most important terms and what are the difference between those terms before you start with real geometry? Okay. Now the first term is a point. What is a point? See, a point marks a position in space. A point is shown by a dot and named using a capital letter. A point has no dimension. So, a point marks a position in space. So, suppose if I have a circle here, then I have few points here and I have few points here. Okay, now how do I represent these points? How do I call it? So suppose if I name this as A, B, L, M. So I will read this as point A, point B, point M, point L. Okay, now as it says point is nothing but a dot, and this dot is always represented using a capital letter. The most important thing you have to remember is a point has no dimensions. Dimensions means it will not have any length, width, or height. I hope this is clear to everyone. Okay. Now, the next point is a line. What is a line? So, a line has no end points. What does it mean? See, suppose if I draw a line like this. Okay, so when I say a line, so we will say that this is a line because it can be extended in both the direction. You can extend the line in this direction as well as in this direction. Okay, then it has only one dimension. A line has only one dimension. What is that dimension? The dimension of the line is length. A line will have a length. An infinite length shown using arrowheads. So these are the two arrowheads because we are representing a line which can be extended in both direction as it has no endpoints. So it is always represented by two arrowheads at both the ends. Okay. Suppose if I name this as A B, so I will represent this line as like this, line AB. Suppose if we have another line, let me mark this as X and Y, and I have to represent line XY. I will represent it like this. I will mark two arrowheads on top of the letters X and Y, which will represent line XY. Now, let's move to another term, line segment. See, this is line and this is line segment. So, what is the difference between these two? When we speak about line, line can be extended in both the direction. But when we speak about line segment, as the word says segment, segment means a part of something. So, a line segment is part of a line, but it still contains an infinite number of points. It has two definite endpoints and a finite length. Okay, so let me show you. Okay, suppose you have a line like this. Okay, let me mark this line as AB, and let's mark few. Okay, so here you have L M N O. So you can see there we have a line AB. We have a line AB. This line AB can be splitted into so many parts. So you can see here LM. Okay, so we cannot say LM as a line, right? LM is part of line AB. So LM is a line segment. MN is a line segment. NO is a line segment. You can also say LN is a line segment, LO is a line segment, MO is a line segment. So you can find few line segments here. So how do we represent the line segment? So AB is my line, and now you see LM. LM line segment is shown like this. MN is shown like this. Why we show it like this with two endpoints? Because a line segment have two definite endpoints, and a line segment will always have a finite length, means a line segment will have a fixed length. Okay, so this, see, if I say this length is 2 centimeter, it will be 2 centimeter because L and M have two endpoints. Okay, I hope this difference is clear. A line can be extended both the ways. It have indefinite length or infinite length, but a line segment have a finite length or a fixed length. So we can also represent few more line segments here. NO, you can also say LN. I hope this difference is clear to everyone. Now, the next term is ray. What is a ray? So you might have heard the word sun rays, right? Sun rays. So when we speak about sun rays, see, this is sun. Okay, and these are the rays coming out of sun. So what you can observe here, see, it starts from one point from the sun and it goes indefinitely in one direction. Okay, so same thing about the ray. Ray starts from one point and it goes indefinitely in another direction. What is a ray? A ray is part of a line and has only one endpoint, and that endpoint is nothing but the initial point from where it starts. Okay, I hope this is clear. So suppose if I say this is A, this is B, and I have to represent ray AB, I will mark it like this. This is ray AB. Okay, now suppose if we have ray XY, we will represent it like this. So now you saw three representation. One is two arrowheads both the side. This we read it as line AB. When you have two endpoints on both the sides, so I will read this as line segment AB. And when you have one endpoint and one arrowhead, we read this as ray AB. I hope this is clear to everyone. The difference between line segment and ray. Let's go to another. Now, here starts parallel lines. What are parallel lines? So, you might have heard earlier also parallel lines. Parallel lines means which they do not intersect anytime, the lines which never meet at any point of time. Okay, so parallel lines are always the same distance apart. See, the distance between two parallel lines is always the same. That's why they are same distance apart. So I can show you like this. See, then we can also represent parallel line like this, right? They do not meet no matter how far they extend in their direction. So even if I extend it in this direction, or I extend this line in this direction, or whatever direction I keep on extending, since they are parallel line, they will never intersect means they will never cross each other. See, when they are crossing, these are not the parallel lines. These are not parallel lines. So parallel lines never intersect each other. They do not meet. Okay. Now, let's see. To show parallel lines, place the same number of markings along their length. Okay, so what does it mean? So, suppose let's take one diagram. Now, in this, I have to show that this line is parallel to this line. So, how I will show? So, these arrows in the same direction, this shows that these two lines are parallel. Suppose if I mark it as AB, CD. So, I will say AC is parallel to BD. Now, what if I have to represent AB is parallel to CD? Now, I have to represent AB is parallel to CD. To show that, I will not just put one mark. I should make a different marking, and that marking can be same arrowheads, but the number will increase. So I will put here like this. So I can say AB is parallel to CD. AC is parallel to BD. This is very important to understand how to read when it comes to the diagram. So, suppose you can have a compounded shape as well. Suppose if I say like this, I have this shape, and then we can also have, okay, suppose this is a compounded shape and I have to show the parallel lines in this. I can show it this way. I will say that this line is parallel to this line, right? So it, because they do have same number of markings, so very easily I can identify that this line is parallel to this line. Now suppose if I have to show this and these are parallel, what I can do is I will I will draw like this. Now, looking at this compound shape, I can easily say that this line is parallel to this line, and here this line is parallel to this line. So I hope this is clear to you how to represent parallel lines. Now, another very important concept, perpendicular lines. What are perpendicular lines? So, perpendicular lines are at right angles to one another. How it is right angles? So, let's see. So, practically, you might have seen in your house, see the wall standing on this floor, horizontal line, right? The meeting point of the floor and the wall, this forms a 90-degree angle. So this is, wall is perpendicular to the floor, right? The corners of your textbook, see, the textbook you have, the corners of your textbook, see, these are also at 90-degree, right? So perpendicular lines are at right angles to one another. So let me show you. Okay, so if I say A, B, O, and X, Y, so I can say here AOX, these form 90-degree, right? And here also 90-degree. Here also 90-degree, and here also 90-degree. So I can say that AO is perpendicular to XY. AO is perpendicular to XY. And why I'm saying it is perpendicular? Because AO is at 90-degree on line XY, right? Then we can also say BO. Yeah, we can also say that BO is perpendicular to XY because BO is at 90-degree. Also, you can say AB is perpendicular to XY. Why? Because they cross at 90 degrees. I hope this is clear. So, one thing, when you study geometry, you have to remember that suppose many times the angles will not be written there, okay, you have to understand from this kind of marking. See, okay, like this, whenever you have this L kind of shape, it represents that that is 90-degree, and whenever we say 90-degree, it means that is a perpendicular line. I hope this is clear to everyone. Now let's see the next term. The next term is collinear points. So collinear. So co means on the same. Collinear means on the same line. So the points existing on the same line. All the points on the same line. Suppose I have a line like this. A, B, and on this line we can have many points like this. So now I will say that A, B, C, D, E are collinear points. But if I have another point here, P, Q, R, so If your question is what are the collinear points, we will say A, B, C, D, E are the collinear points as they are on the same line. Okay, which are the non-collinear points in this diagram? So we can say that P, Q, R are the non-collinear points because they are not on the same line. Okay, so your collinear points, they always lie on the same straight line. I hope this is clear to everyone. Okay, now let's move to the next term. Okay, this is another important term, concurrent lines. What do you understand by the concurrent line? So, concurrent lines are three or more lines passing through the same point. So, suppose I have a line here, 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 okay, and here. So, you can see we have many lines, right? Let me mark A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay, and let me mark this as O. Now you can see that line A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, all of them are passing through the same point, and that point is nothing but O. So such lines which pass through the same point are called as concurrent lines. Right. So these were few basic terms which you must be aware before starting the real geometry, that is parallel lines, triangles, or circles. I hope this is clear to everyone. For any doubts, you can put in the comment section. Hope to see you in the next session. Thanks for watching.